How painful can it be? Oh, it can be painful. Oh, oh, it can be painful. Anybody in here yet? I don't want to set the world on fire. Y'all like me singing? Yes. Yes, Don, we love your singing voice. It's magical. Makes me all wet. All right, three watching. Who all's in here? Chime in, please. See if there's anybody I know in here. Or if this is just, hey, what's up, Josh? Uh, Sunday night stream, welcome. I can't tell you how painful that was. I'm like, actually, it's been much worse than that. Seemed like I got everything going before. How's the audio, Josh? We'll wait. We'll wait. We'll wait till a few more people get in here. But yeah, this time I haven't used the laptop to stream in quite some time because it's a pain in the ass. If I want to stream, the best way to do it, if I've got good internet, is just pick up the phone, put the phone on a selfie stick, and plant it on something, and hit stream, and it's magic. It's freaking magic. Um, if it's noisy, I plug a microphone in. If it's dark, I turn some lights on. But it's it's magic compared to the technical hurdles that you have to get to go over this to do the streaming software because there's always something that's not working. This time I got the microphone working pretty good. I got the feedback issues taken care of. I got all this great video footage lined up, not including the space shuttle. And then I go, hey, all right, looks like everything's good. And I click go live, and it goes, nah, fuck you. No, you got to set up your broadcast first. It's like, wait a minute, has it been that long? So basically, the software says, no, you haven't done this in so long. You're just going to have to disconnect and do all the streaming keys and all this crap. It really wasn't that hard, but it's like, shit, where's my phone? I got to verify it's me to do the Google thing, to log into YouTube, and just awful. And all the security is because a bunch of assholes want your money. They want to lock you out of your account and get your money for your stuff. Pirates. It's the modern day online pirates. Audio's good. Cool. Lone Wolves of Wheels. I'm thinking that's either Brian or Dina. I can never tell because Brian posts from both. I think. I don't know. What's up? California in the house. So first, let me apologize. I was going to set up in fact, I did. I set up in the garage. If you don't know, I'm up in Chicago, outside of Chicago, a little suburb outside of Chicago. Beautiful little place. Um, Helping my buddy Keith, Monkey Boy, and was I think I was planning on setting up in the garage several days ago, and then um, that way I could get out of everybody's hair. I could go out there while those two were here and not disturb anybody. Just go out there and do my thing, sit in front of a bunch of motorcycles and do my live stream. And then they both decided to go on vacation, so I've got the whole house to myself. And I was like, well, I actually went out in the garage and set up. It's like, okay, it's kind of hot out here. I couldn't figure out how to make the light right. There's noise out there. And I'm like, and the biggest thing is Keith has no comfortable chairs in this entire house. He has one comfortable chair. It's this big leather chair that I'm sitting in, and it's fantastic. I was like, it's controlled environment inside. If I need light, I can turn the light on. I've got all the outlets. I don't need to set anything up. And most importantly, I've got this comfortable chair. I could sit here for 6 hours. But the other chairs he's got a camp chair that's pretty comfortable. But yeah, My boy's not much into furniture. I'm trying to get him to buy some cheap. He's trying to sell his house here. He's trying to roll everything up and move to Thailand with his wife, and that's why I'm up here fixing up his house so he can move. And I'm trying to talk him into buying some freaking furniture, so the place looks like it's not. it's not. It's not being occupied by squatters. And I'm not saying it. His furniture's shit. He just doesn't have any furniture. He has none. He has 2 chairs in this whole house. The rest of them are not chairs. And he's probably watching, which is pretty funny. Oh, turn the sound up. I don't know if I can, man. Hang on a second. I'm going to try to boost the sound. I'm going to try. Let me get in here and see if I can try. Advanced audio properties. Let me go way up if I can. Mic. Yep, no. Let's try plan B here. Properties. Oh, not looking good. No, that's as high as I can go. I can try it without the microphone, but I don't think you're going to like it. I don't think you're going to like it any better. Let's see if I can get this thing down here. How is that? Is that any better? Already so long. Shit. If y'all only knew the troubles. The troubles. This is difficult. It's difficult doing this. Both of us. Oh, y'all are both watching. Cool. Yeah, it's the weekend. That makes sense. You know, what's up, Tyler? Had to wait for the ads to stop before I could answer you. Yeah, shit, man. I'm trying to run ads just to see if YouTube will actually put the videos out there. It sucks if I get down to the previous levels. I think the last few streams I've had up to like 30 people, and I'm trying all kinds of crazy stuff, as you guys know, to get actually exposed on on YouTube. And the craziest thing is, even though all the people that are not subscribed, when y'all start bitching, I'm gonna back off a little bit. But so far, nobody's bitching about the crazy shorts. Nobody's bitching about the me talking about other YouTubers, except the people that aren't subscribed. And I don't really care about the people. If everything that I'm doing on YouTube, the crazy stuff, the stuff it's actually, I enjoy it, most of it, or I wouldn't be doing it. But the stuff that's out of the usual stuff that I do, the experimental stuff, the shorts, the insane stuff that I do, all that stuff is an experiment to see if I can get a new audience, an additional audience. Basically get YouTube to show my videos to the world. And it's working. It's absolutely working. I've got almost 10,000 subscribers now. My views are tripled. And not all videos. The one that came out yesterday, they didn't put it in the feed till late last night. I think it was like 9 o'clock. And then as soon as they put it in the feed, it's like poof, 6 subscribers. I got like, I don't know, 1,500 views. Anyway, sucks, but not everything is working. But if you throw enough shit against the wall, apparently, and that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm throwing enough shit against the wall. Putting a little bit of drama out there. Drama is really not my thing, and I appreciate anybody that's been watching me for any time. If y'all get pestered and pissed off, just let me know, man. It's cool, especially if I know you. If you've never commented before and you've been watching me for years, I'm probably going to ignore you, and I hate that. But the best way for me to understand who is drop a comment every once in a while. Come in the stream and go, hey man, I don't like what you're doing with the thing. Or hell, how about just one video? Oh, or pick one video and go, I like this video, and I'll remember your name. Well, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 comments so I can get a feeling of who you are. But yeah, my regular subscribers, I'm much more concerned about the people that are watching me now, people that watch me on a regular basis. Um, I listen to you. The people that come in and go, I don't like you talking about somebody else. I'm like, well, okay, see ya. We're not gonna get along. I'll see you later. Thanks for your comment. And some of them are just really downright ugly. So you know what happens to the ugly comments? You know what happens to those people? You never get to see them, and I never get to see them either. And I hate that. I hate for people to make one mistake. But if you come in here and make an ugly comment. One ugly comment is enough. It's enough for me. It's like, you know, I got to keep my spirits up, and the only way I feel like I can do that is just permanently ignore the people that have got a chip. The chip people, yeah, I don't have the time or the patience for them. What does everyone else think about sound? Seems loud? Seems better? Okay, yeah, sorry. I can move the microphone up. This microphone is really good at filtering out background noise. That's why I use it. Well, I hooked it up because I was going to be out in the garage. And there's not a lot of noise on that side of the street, but this is really good at taking out the echo and the scratches and the hisses and the people racing out here in the street. CIC is real. Yes, it's totally real. I'm glad YouTube didn't show that video either, which is very disappointing. I thought it was a cute video, the short that you guys watched before you came into the stream. I thought it was an important video, and I also thought it was cute. I thought it was cute, but then again, I think a lot of my video ideas are funny. If I sit, it takes me 15 minutes to make it, and the whole time I'm laughing, just because of how silly it is. I think it's funny, and of course I'm biased. I mean, if I didn't think it was funny, I wouldn't have put it out there. Well, maybe. Sound not bad. Is low though. The chat is coming in your picture, so can't see. The chat is coming in the picture, so can't see just awesome space shots. The chat. I don't know what you're saying there, Tyler. Freedom. Of course, it's all about freedom, yo. You can comment on our videos sometimes too, Don. I do comment on your videos. When I see them, you guys have the same problem I do. YouTube doesn't show your videos. I'm subscribed to you. I think I've got notifications turned on. But yeah, y'all are in the same boat as me. YouTube doesn't give a shit about you. And they don't give a shit about your subscribers. To me, that should be the minimum. Okay, don't show me the new people, but people that have found me for some reason, you guys too, people that have found me and said, these guys are interesting. Click subscribe. That should be a no-brainer. It should be a no-brainer that, you know, it pops up in your feed. At least pop it up in your feed. That's my biggest beef. You know, people that subscribe to me, I worked hard to get those subscribers. Show them my videos, please. They could do the same thing for you guys too. Priceless in the last video. Loved it. Thanks, Too Slow. I just shared on 3 other moto camping sites. Greetings and salutations. What's up, Richard? What's up, Richard? Exactly. Shorts are fine too. Yeah, I think that's for the most part. I think most people are not really disturbed by the shorts. They either watch them or they don't. If you watch shorts, you may watch some of my shorts. If you don't watch shorts at all, I don't know how it works for everybody else. I just know how it works for me. I get a few shorts that pop up on my feed, like at my homepage. I think there's like a section. So you're scrolling through your regular videos, and then they've got a shorts section that has a bunch of shorts. And then I think you scroll down, there's more shorts. So Yeah, if you don't watch shorts, the shorts shouldn't bother you. I'm thinking you got to try the trans biker. Would draw a lot of people. Trans biker. You got to tell me about that, man. Is that the stuff that we talked about? My favorite short was the Tesla. Ah, I'm surprised anybody watched that. That's one of my favorites too. I like ads. So I like ads, spoof ads. I love doing spoof ads. I love products that don't exist. Bug nuggets. Did you see Ball Bearing Betty? That's my classic. That's the one that's golly, what is that? 10 years old, 11 years old. And it finally, after I think that thing was out there like 6 or 7 years, and it finally got some traction. YouTube started showing it, or somebody linked it. That's probably more accurate. Somebody found it and said, "Oh, this is funny. This is what you need for tailgaters." If y'all haven't seen Bug Nuggets or Ball Bearing Betty, you got to go watch those. Uh, well, the chat shows everyone is texting you is coming out on your face. So I can't see it. Let me see what it looks like in the stream. Yeah, I think that's your screen, man, because my screen looks fine. So I don't know. Turn your phone sideways or drag your window somehow. I'm not really sure because what I'm seeing looks fine to me. I mean, I've got 3 screens up and it looks the same in all 3 screens. So I'm not sure how to help you there, Tyler. It's not doing that on our phone, Tyler. Are you on a computer? Yeah, it could be if you're on a computer, it might be your window is squished. You know, when you squish windows, it moves stuff around. Well, I'm amazed at there's almost no lag on this. Wow. If I snap my fingers, this is 1, 2, 3. That's like 3 seconds of lag. That's nothing. Yeah, Keith's got really fast internet here, so pretty excited about that. So let's talk about, what do you want to talk about? I've got a few topics that I would like to maybe discuss if y'all are in the mood. Let's see if I can move my little. How about, I just made a video the other day going over budgets. So let's talk about motorcycle adventure, your motorcycle adventure and budget. What do you think, what is the minimum cost that you think it's going to cost you if you were to decide today, fuck it, I'm going on an adventure, I'm going for a month. Let's forget about all the bills that you have at home. There's nothing I can do about those. But if you said, okay, I got my normal bills, I'm going to make sure that all comes out direct deposit, whatever, your bill pay, whatever, you don't have to stay at home and write checks. What do you think, if you live like I do on a motorcycle and you don't camp in campgrounds, you don't pay to sleep somewhere, and you cook your own food, because, you know, if you're going out to restaurants every day, 3, 4, 5 times a day, it's going to cost you a lot more money. But drop a comment and let me know what you think on this last trip, 2 weeks basically on the road. Tell me what you think that I was spending every day. Just guess. I want to guess because I want to see how distorted everyone is on what I actually spent. Because I'll give you a hint. I'm a low budget motorcycle camper. That should be a hint, right? Well, expenses are not my problem at all. It's the money I'm not making being at work. Yo, dude, Brian, that's the way it always was for me. Yeah. So yeah, you take off work. That's what I always had. In fact, that was my biggest expense, not being at work. It's always been my biggest expense. It's like, I can't justify leaving for 2 weeks because, that's X number of dollars. It's like, shit. Yeah. Yeah. Since 2005, I've been self employed. So it's nobody says, oh, hey, Don, why don't you take a month off and we'll pay you. We'll make sure there's a check going into your account every week. That hasn't happened since 2005. So it's always been a big kick in my nuts every time I left somewhere. And it's always been 5, 10, 20 times as much as I spent on the road. The, the amount of money that I spent traveling was nothing because I don't sleep. I've always hated hotels. I hate the process of checking in, checking out, doing all the bullshit to get in a freaking room that's may or may not be worth 10% of what I paid for the room. I just hate hotels. If there was a way for me just to go jump off a plane and grab a tube, jump in a tube like a horizontal elevator and go thump to the lobby of the hotel and get on the elevator, go to my room, I would feel differently. But it's that whole process of let me spend 15 minutes talking to some idiot and then paying them $200 to go sleep in a bed that smells like the last guy that was there. $50 a day. That's not too far off. Oh, geez. $4 a day if you weren't moving. Yeah, that's a little bit low. Fuel is the question. So, Kelly, very good. That's a good number, $25 a day. So yeah, the video that I've got coming out is I've included basically a tank of fuel, which to me, when I'm in the spot that I want to be in, like in other words, if I'm not doing what I used to do, which is get on my bike and go, oh shit, flyover country. I need to get to the Rockies as fast as I can. That's what I used to do. That's 1,000 miles. That's 4 tanks of gas. So that's, if I did that in one day, that's $70 plus. So we can exclude gas because you don't have to travel every day. And I sure don't like doing it. So what I have found is that I tend to find my place that I really like, and then I go exploring, and I'll be talking about that a lot more. I've talked about it a little bit before, but basically I go to the place that I like. I'm in the mountains, somewhere in the Rockies, and I find me a camp spot, and I go, oh, this is cool. And then a day later, I'm like, oh, yeah, it's cool sitting here at camp, and I love the views, and the weather is perfect, and, I can do this. And well, okay, well, what else am I going to do? Well, I'm going to go into town, get some supplies, get some food, and, once I've been in camp a couple of days, maximum, typically I start going, oh, man, I want to see what else is around here. And I've set up camp. I've got my home for a few days, a few days, a week maybe sometimes more. 14 days in most national forests and a lot of other BLM national forests. They're all the same. 14 days, typically the limit. There's some places that are 7 days, some places that are 4. I've seen. Anyway, set up camp, and I go, man, this is extraordinary. This is where I want to camp tonight too. But I don't want to sit here at camp all day. I want to go explore. So I get on the bike because that's my home base now. And I can go, pretty much 60 miles or less during the day. So there I have some fuel cost, but I've still got the same food cost. And my food cost in this last trip, $8 to $15 a day. And you'll see that video coming out, I think, Tuesday or Thursday. I can't remember when I've got it scheduled. Anyway, the breakdown for this trip, $8 to $15 a day in food. Pretty much the same for fuel, tank of gas, $15, $17 depending on where I get it. Yeah, I got to run premium in that Tiger because it's got high compression, and especially if I'm going up mountains, it starts pinging pretty bad. Ran like shit in California. I don't think they've got premium gas out there. I think they were selling me like regular gas. California or whatever the hell, putting some kind of freaking green water in my gas. I don't know what the hell they were doing, but anyway, so this trip was about $25 a day. Um, so yeah, 25. It's about, I would say, it's about average for every day. But I spent what I spent. I think I spent 4 days off the Blue Ridge, my second camp, which is coming up. Let's click through this. Just let me click through some of these videos here so y'all can see what the heck I'm doing. I want to do this. There's a little tunnel. Isn't that cool? So I'm up in Chicago, outside of Chicago at my buddy's place. This is Keith, Monkey Boy. Y'all have probably seen him in some of the older videos especially. And that's his little T-dub there that's going on the back of this camper. This son of a bitch is serious, man. He has put a lot of work into this camper. He doesn't even own this. This was once his camper. And I think he decided he didn't have really room to keep it, so he sold it to his buddy, who he's out camping with right now. But man, he has spent so much effort and money to fix a camper up that no longer belongs to him, so he can carry his motorcycle on the back. And that's kind of what he's been doing for the last, I don't know, month. That's his jack rack right there. That's the thing that he puts on the back of the camper so he can that's Keith. They are actually on an adventure right now. Him and his buddy are headed towards Moab right now as we speak. His buddy, he fixed up the trailer. Oh man, they've put so much money into this thing so it can go off-roading. And anyway, it's a monstrosity. This thing shouldn't exist. It's got they just put that bumper on the back so he can put the jack rack up there, so he can put that T-dub, strap the T-dub on the back. And then he's going to pull that down to Indiana, or did already, pull that down to Indiana. And they're going to swap vehicles. His buddy's got a Suburban, so he's going to pull that down with the RAV. And his buddy is going to strap his bike to the back of the Suburban, and they're going to pull that to Moab, because they like adventures, but they like comfort. I think they're pretty much like me. I think neither of them like hotels, and they sure as shit don't like spending the money. So they've got this hotel on 2 wheels. And they're serious, man. I mean, to put that much money into making something that you can have your adventures. I mean, yeah, I respect anybody that's going to go, like all the guys that pull trailers. You know, I think there's 4, 5, 6 people that pull trailers behind their motorcycle that watch this channel. And it's like, I used to go, wow, I'd never pull a trailer all that weight until I started putting all that weight on the back seat. And now I'm like, let me think about this whole trailer thing. You mean I wouldn't have to carry all that weight on the motorcycle? It would just be behind me? Anyway, so that's pretty much what he's doing now. I want to show you the bike mounted. So he's putting on the jack rack here, which I'd never even heard of, but it's basically a stand, a mounting stand that you basically put your motorcycle on, and then you jack it up to keep it off the road. Anyway, I'm not really sure what all this stuff is. You'll eventually see this video. That's basically the jack rack that's installed on the back of the camper now. But you know, shit. I mean, I'm to the point now where it's like, okay, whatever it takes to get you out there to have your adventure, man. I mean, if it's comfort. I mean, I was the same way years ago. I started going, man, I don't enjoy camping. This tent camping, I don't like crawling around on the ground. It's not comfortable. I'm old. I have trouble getting up and down off the ground. I don't sleep well on the ground. Well, sometimes I do. But, yeah, let's see if we can get this thing forwarded to... Oh, there we go. That's the T-dub. He just bought that T-dub, I don't know, a few months back. And y'all saw me riding around the suburbs over here. I think I'll probably make another video of. It's a fun little bike, man. People diss the little bikes, and most of the time it's just because they've never ridden one. And most of the time I suggest to people don't make the mistake of thinking that you got to have a big bike for your first bike or the first bike that you've had since you were a kid. And don't make that mistake. That's what I keep telling them. Don't buy a 800-pound motorcycle if you haven't ridden in 30 years. If you haven't ridden since you were a teenager, and that's what happens to a lot of people. It's like, I got married, started having kids, and my wife said, you need to stop doing that, or you ran out of time, or you had to work 2 jobs to support your family. All those things come up. And so people put their motorcycle in their garage for 20, 30 years, and they try to start it, and it doesn't start. Or they notice all their buddies have got the brand new $40,000 motorcycle, and there's no way that they're going to go hang out with their buddies with a 30-year-old motorcycle. So they go, okay, kids are in school, let me go get my brand new $40,000 motorcycle. But I haven't ridden in 30, 40 years. But that's okay. I remember it all. It's like riding a bike, right? Except most of these guys that haven't ridden in 30 years have never ridden an 800-pound motorcycle. So it's pretty. I think it's a deadly combination. It's really a bad idea, which is why I promote small machines. But motorcycles are very ego-driven and identity-based. How can you be a real man if you're riding around on a 200cc motorcycle? How can that be? You just can't be a real man unless you have an 800-pound motorcycle. Unless you have something that can pull a trailer at 80 miles an hour, you're not a real man. And that's all bullshit. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. $7 a day if you weren't moving, and $57 a day if on the move. Yeah, Brian, I think you're probably talking 2 or 3 tanks of gas. But you're like I do, man. You have a limited amount of time like I used to. So you blaze from one side of the country to the other. You blaze out to Sturgis every year, and you're probably doing 800 miles or more a day. And that's what you're talking about in that range, I'm thinking. 30 days, $30 a day traveling. That's pretty close, Rick.
The camper has brakes, so
Not working is what gets me every time. Not working. It's painful, man. It's painful. It's painful not to get that check. It is painful. That's probably the hardest thing for most people. But that's one of the topics. We may talk about that here shortly. You're funny about your gas stories. You realize Nevada's gas comes from California. Well, I haven't spent that much time in Nevada, honestly. That's very nice. Get up, he made. Dude, he is no shit. He is really into this camper. And I think there's a couple of things. He likes comfort. We're all getting older. We're all getting to the point where it's like, man, I don't want to do this anymore. And he's like, no, fuck it. If I just take my hotel with me, I can strap the bike to the back. I can strap my buddy's bike to the back of his rig. And, he's all in. He's freaking playing poker, and he's going, nah, fuck it, man. I want to do this. I want to do what's going to get me there. And, I got some respect for him, but I also tease the shit out of him. It's like, this is a Frankenstein you made here. The Keys T-Dub is the twin of mine. Yeah, I like the T-Dub. Okay, sure, it could use another 20 horses, but it's so much fun. All the small bikes are just so much fun to ride. I like he's got a monkey too. It's fun to ride.
I would love to camp up there.
Ergonomically, it's too small for me.
Get my bike up there.
But that T-Dub, I'm pretty sure I could probably do the tat on the T-Dub. It would take me forever. And I'd be wringing its neck going across those dirt roads in Oklahoma. And, oh my gosh. Yeah, Richard, let's talk about the T-Dub on the tap, man. Well, you didn't have that much trouble. I had so much trouble. But those fat tires taking half the weight, taking a true minimalist load, going back through the tap. I would love to see the difference and just go, oh, wait a minute. I remember these I remember
campground.
these
This time it was closed,
silty sand washes that we rode through in Utah. I mean, you had a little bit of trouble,
but
but man, I was
that's kinda
struggling
what
on all of
started
them.
it
If it
all.
was
It's like,
more
man,
than
I
6, 8
can't
inches
go
deep of
in
that
the
silty
tent
crap,
on campground.
dude, I was just struggling.
So
But
I'll
those
just
big
make
fat
my own.
tires on the
This is-
front
I
and
mean,
rear,
I looked at the
I'd just
map,
be
I
like,
was
yeah,
yeah,
okay,
campground. I
me.
can go get a
And
campsite.
that's
and
about what it
whatever
shifts
is,
like.
$25,
So yeah, I would
whatever.
definitely
I didn't care.
consider taking a T-dub on the tap.
Had plenty of money.
So first time seeing you
But
get
to
in a
get
car.
there
Yeah,
and
it doesn't happen
go,
very
oh,
often.
no. Yeah, it's 10 o'clock
Keith's
at
trailer
night.
with the
Guess what?
motorcycle will
I had to
create
find a
more
place to
real
camp.
memories than
And
hoteling it ever will. Tyler, I was going to tell you the story
experience that Mountain
about
Vista
his Keith's
left me with
um,
has changed my
what do you call it? Obsession with
motorcycle
pop-up
adventure.
campers. It's a Coleman. It's the classic. Probably you've seen them before. But Keith grew up camping in a pop-up just like that. So all his childhood memories from camping, all his camping genes come from that camper, or not that camper, but a similar camper. So all the things that he ever found joy in as a child was camping with his family, going out in that pop-up, and he has convinced his buddy that that is the end all and be all, and so now they're like partners in this pop-up camper condo thing. Anyway, it's kind of interesting to hear him talk fondly about his childhood memories in this pop-up. But yeah, I mean, it makes complete sense why he says, yeah, whatever it takes, I'm going to make a Frankenstein camper that will accomplish all the goals. The goal is not to go to Moab to hang out in a pop-up. The goal is to go to Moab to ride around Moab, which is pretty extraordinary, especially if you got a T-dub. I can't remember what his buddy's taken.
They are still.
Well, he's promised me some video, so you guys should be able to see some of the stuff when I actually put this video out. You should be able to see some of the stuff,
I mean, if I'm gonna spend $50
the result of this thing that, you know, he's out on an adventure right now while I'm remodeling his bathroom. No, I'm happy for him. I'm glad he's out there having fun. Somebody needs to be out here.
Same price you're giving me, nothing but a
He's trailing with motorcycle. Yes, I wasn't talking about what I spend. That was what I figured for you. No, I spent. Yeah, I remember being there, Brian. I remember being there, making so much money and not having time to spend it, and that's what I did. I mean, I never got into cocaine. I've never put that shit in my nose or smoked it or anything. But I acted kind of like a cokehead when I had some days off. If I could put 3 or 4 days together, back when I was squirreling away, trying to make a name for myself in the world, trying to build my empire, that's what I remember. I was like, man, I'm making so much money, I can't spend it. There's no way I can spend it fast enough. And when I did, I just went on these insane freaking throw money at people to make myself happy. It's like, yeah, if I do all this stuff, it's like, and none of that shit ever made me happy. It was like, yeah, I'm glad that I had that little time off, but shit, man, I just need time, and that's I think I realized that probably shortly after I started doing my own thing. It's like, man, I really don't need all that money. I'm okay with a little bit of money, and just kind of got worse and worse. It's like I need more time and less money, and I'll trade. I mean, that's really what everybody's doing now anyway. Is you're trading your time for money. That's what everybody does, unless you figured out something else. If you figured out another way to make money without trading your time, please let me know. Please get into contact with me, because that's one of the topics for tonight. Notice that my ex motocross racing brain still knows the moves and techniques from 30 years ago with my reflexes. Dude, yeah, let's talk about reflexes. Did I miss something here? Yeah. Oh no, David Bartab. Let's not talk about that, because that's extraordinary. Yeah, I've told a few people when I first hit the road in 2015, I was in a big schoolie and I had a bank account full of money, and I was certain that I had 5 years or less to live. So I was absolutely certain. No, that's 2015. I was like, man, I'm dying. I'm dying soon because my dad died when he was 57, and that was 2 years ago. But I was like, man, I don't have that much longer to live. Let's blow it out now, and that's kind of what I did for a couple of years. I just went kind of nuts, like a cokehead. Except, man, I'll tell you, that was the best time of my life. The best time of my life. I did not do anything. I put my business on hold. I didn't do anything. I kind of should have done something a little bit differently. I would have a lot more business coming in now if I hadn't made that mistake. But I was convinced I was going to be dead in 3, 4, 5 years, and I just lost my mind like a cokehead. Except it was just beer. I was just drinking beer. Anyway, yeah, bar tab. Yeah, I can't even tell you how many breweries and really nice restaurants I visited, and parked that big schoolie out in front of the restaurants. That was the best time of my life. I wish I could do that again. Motocross brain still knows the moves. Yes, my reflexes are, I would say I'm probably down to about 70%. It's very slow reaction times. Body doesn't respond even when my reflexes are like, oh, I need to do this. My body's really slow and getting slower. I grew with travel trailers, tents, and boats, from canoes to a small cruiser. Yeah, cool, man. I've traded all my time so my wife can live in the mountains and not work. At least I come home 2 days a week and visit my motorcycle and my wife. Yeah, man, I feel for you. At least it seems like you're doing something that you enjoy, Brian. It seems like you enjoy your job. So I don't have very many other friends that take pictures at work and send them to me. So you give me an impression that you really like your job. So, that's more than most people can say. Most people, and I've been real lucky. I've had really great jobs that pay great money, and I enjoyed doing what I did. So I'm lucky, but I would also say that I'm probably in the very small minority of people that made a good living and enjoyed what they did. That's really rare. So let's see what else we got here. Let me pull up. So budgeting, motorcycle. Let's see. Oh, that's the one I really wanted to talk about, is making money. So let's talk about that, shall we? Let me get rid of this.
Very few surprise turns unless you listen to the camera, which I am.
Let's talk about making money on the road while traveling. Anybody got any good ideas? Because that's what I'm doing now. I'm on the road, and I'm up here remodeling the bathroom. That's not really what I do. I flipped houses for probably 20 years, so I have some skills. I've got pretty much every skill that you need to remodel a house. My carpentry skills are very weak. I had a chance, like my older brother, paid attention to the men around us when we were growing up, and he learned really good carpentry skills. So we kind of traded off. I had some things that I was really good at, but every time there was any kind of carpentry involved, it was like, hey, Keith, my brother Keith. So we have our skills, and carpentry is not really one of them. So it's kind of what we had. We had some damage to the bathroom, but I was like, we can do this or we can do that. But if we do this, we're gonna have to call in a carpenter because I'm not a carpenter. I can get pretty close, but it's probably not gonna be right. And anyway, so yeah, I've got some skills that I could do. I've got really good handyman skills. So I can pretty much do anything inside or outside a house. other than carpentry repair, which is kind of what I did.
Motorcycles,
I'm okay
they're
at.
always fucked up.
I'm okay at plumbing, electrical, walls, paint, flooring.
One line in the corner.
But I would like to do. I'm a tech guy. I mean, that's kind of what I've been doing the last 20 plus years. Anything technical. I'm just trying to figure out something other than web. I don't want to do any more web stuff. I'm sick of working for people doing web stuff. It's kind of like I've always kind of felt like I don't want to say I'm an artist, but that's the closest thing I can get to artistry is like, I've got some ideas about your design. I think some things that would work, and then you're talking to somebody that has absolutely no idea, and you're trying to make them happy. That's all you're trying to do. Make them happy and give them a good product. Give them something that somebody down the road doesn't go, what the hell is this? And why did you think this was good? So I try to avoid that. Despite what they say, well, I want this, I want that, I want I want animated American flag. It's like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to put an animated American flag on your website. I'm not going to do it. And any web guys out there will know the jokes like that and make it bigger, and it's like I'm just so frustrated trying to make people happy. I can't do it anymore. I can't do it. I didn't really do that much of it, but it was always a part of my business. Making people happy is not what I do best. Helping people make money, that's what I do best. But most of the time, people are too stupid. People are too stupid to take advantage of those skills that I have. But anyway, that's the best way for me to make money is because I could do it from anywhere. I can, ideally, any place that I have internet. But I don't know. I don't know what you guys, if y'all have any ideas. I know the other vagabonds are doing the rallies, and they work the rallies, and yeah, that's great. They make a lot of money in a couple of weeks, but that's a lot of hard work, and it's a lot of noise, and I would probably drink all that money away if I had to do that kind of work like I'm doing now. Being on my knees, moving tile around, makes me want to drink. So I'm drinking the money that I haven't even made yet away. Bar tab. Yes. Yeah, I know what you mean. I've traded all my time. Hello, Don. Hello, Howard. Sorry, I just saw your chat or your comment there, man. Sorry about that. We got fences to build and a garage door that needs to be built if anyone wants to camp, ride, and make money. Might have to take you up on that. Garage door. I've never installed one, but I mean they look pretty simple. You're hanging tracks, really. Yeah, you're using hanging software to hang the tracks. Yeah, and you probably got some tools, don't you, Brian? I may have to stop and get that. I may just, that may be what I do is just put myself out there as the handyman where I can come in and, I don't know that I want to spend a month at everybody's place remodeling, but if I could come in and do a few days, maybe a week's worth of work and get you guys down the road somewhere, that might be something, because I know a lot of people just don't want to do that kind of work. And I was at that point, at a point in my life, I was like, man, I like doing all the work on my machines. But I started calculating, and it was like, oil changes. It's taking away my time. And, I'm making like 5 times as much as the oil change guy. So why not just go pay him $50?
Very exceptional.
Drive in there,
I would say.
and I could be working while I'm sitting in my vehicle, making money, while this guy changing my oil.
Camp up there to the left.
I don't know that I ever
Just get my bike.
vehicle maintenance I gave away for a few years just because like
Being a
freaking cleanup, changing the oil is
park range is up here.
20, 30 minutes maybe, and then the cleanup is another 30 minutes, and then going to getting the crap, and it's like, yeah, it's real easy. So I think I probably had my oil changed consistently for, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years. I almost forgot how the hell to do it. And that same time, I wasn't riding my motorcycle very much. I was without motorcycles. Let me see when I did. I sold all my motorcycles because they were in my freaking way, and I wasn't riding them. I didn't want to keep them in my garage for one day, fixing them up, and I had to clean all the carbs. I think I did not own a motorcycle for like 2 or 3 years. And there's probably a lot of people watching me and like, I haven't owned a motorcycle in 30 years. I get it, but I'm a freaking kind of an oddball when it comes to motorcycles. I'm shocked the way I am now. I'm shocked that I went 3 years without riding a motorcycle.
It's 10 o'clock at night. Guess what? You're going to have to find a place to camp.
If you want to do, yeah. That's pretty much Keith. Keith hasn't really touched his house in 20 years, and he's getting ready to sell it, so he's got plenty of work for me to do. And I probably should be doing some work right now, but dude, here's the other thing. I'm old. The hard work, tiles, I keep saying the same thing. Tile work is about on the same level as roofing a house. It's about as hard as you can get construction work. Being on your knees, holding yourself up, hovering over a floor for, I don't see how guys do it. I don't see how the tile guys do 8 hours a day doing that stuff. I'm about 4, maybe 5 hours a day, probably between 3 and 5, just because I'm old. I don't use these muscles anymore, and 4 hours after I started working, it's like, man, I'm whooped. I don't have the juice. I'm sore. I haven't worked in 2 days. I worked on my brakes. I fixed the brakes on my bike Friday, but I didn't do anything on the house Friday, what did I do? I dropped some tiles. I lined up some tiles Friday. So I would say probably an hour maybe. And then 2 or 3 hours today. But man, I'm sore from today. I didn't really do that much work, but I was on the floor moving tiles around and putting mortar down. I laid 4 tiles a day, and I'm beat. Well, there was a lot of other floor work that I did too, but I'm beat. 2 hours on the floor. My back hurts. My knees hurt. Hardly get off the floor. It's tough, man. So yeah, if you're okay with me, 4 hours a day. Don't expect a 20-something coming in there and working on your shit. Can't wait to see you when you start plumbing. Oh, I like plumbing. Liquid plumber is always the call of the day when I did some of that construction work. Liquid plumber. I'm trying to think of what liquid plumber. Are you talking about like clearing drains? Yeah, I'm a good plumber. I'm good with plumbing, electrical. I don't do new construction, any of it. It's all repair. Maybe some upgrade stuff, but yeah. Wall stuff, painting, flooring, I'm pretty good at. I don't do carpet because I'm not good at that. I don't do vinyl, roll vinyl. But other than that, I've been broke and I've had money. Having money is a lot better feeling. Well, I will tell you, it's great to have money. I don't like being broke. I'm very rarely broke, but I have been broke more, or very close to being broke more in the last 3-4 years than since I was in college. And I remember that feeling in college, like, how am I going to pay tuition? How am I going to get books? How am I going to, oh shit. I didn't have very many other bills, but it was like, shit, I don't have money to do this. How am I going to get this money? And that's happened several times in the last, specifically 3 years. But, usually when that happens, it's like something pops up. It's like, oh yeah, I got a gig, I got this, I got that. I started getting customers calling me again. It's like, oh shit, okay. Whew. But now almost all my people that have been customers for years are looking at me and going, where are you going? How long are you going to be gone? How am I going to get this stuff done? And they're all like, I'm going to find somebody that's local. I'm going to find some local guy here to help me. And that's hurt, man. But you know, shit, at least I'm being honest. Hey, look, you call me if I'm on the other side of the country. I can't just pop in and go, hey, let me. And also, my phone doesn't work everywhere, which means my internet doesn't work everywhere. And I didn't want somebody to go, hey, Don, I've been calling you for 3 days and you haven't responded. Or you said that you were going to, like, well, you know, I don't have internet where I'm at. It's tough. That's a tough one. Last 3 years have been tough. That's the toughest I've had since I was in college. But it's also kind of a mindset. It's like, man, it'll work out. And it always does. I haven't lost anything yet. I've been broke. Set up a roadside stand selling counterfeit trinkets. How about this? How about I set up in a Home Depot parking lot with a cardboard sign going, need tires. Yeah, my that was the entire length of my begging career. That was I don't know, 2 or 3 days. I'm set up or 2 or 3 hours. No, maybe 2 hours. I don't think I said it. It was hot. It was hot, and I had better things to do. It was an experiment that I wanted to do forever. I always had these, I wanted to do an experiment, seeing people on the side of the road for the last 40 years and seeing them get more creative with their cardboard and their messaging. I wanted to do the experiment, and not just me. I wanted to set up on the side of the road just by myself. We'll work for food, blah, blah, blah. Just see how many people came up and slipped me $1, slipped me $5, whatever. And then come back the next day with a dog. I need dog food. That was my sign. I need dog food. I figured I would double, triple, quadruple the money with a dog. And then come back the following day with a little girl, you know, find somebody that would let this moron stand out on the side of the interstate or somewhere with a little girl, you know, a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old, somebody that would follow directions and go, stay here and just look cute and say something about food. It's like, okay, yeah, that's like $100 an hour. I was just completely convinced of that. I always wanted to perform that experiment, so I've always been fascinated about begging, panhandling. So that, and I needed tires, so I thought, okay, well let me go do a quick. I guess my sign wasn't convincing enough. I could have danced. I could have twirled the sign or something. I probably could have picked a better spot. And Montrose is probably full of bums. My guess is it's full of bums, and people are tired of hard-working people are tired of seeing bums on the side of the road. So that's probably more important. Seen a biker with a sign, I would give a little. If I seen, yeah, Solon, you're different than everybody else, man. You have a lot more compassion, and you've been there yourself. You've been down and out, so which is the sign of your thing. Have you found your people yet? Have you found the musicians yet? Solon, if you don't know, he's actually starting to do something on YouTube. He hasn't started yet because was it 2 weekends ago, I think, he went out to, his idea is, so he lives in Nashville, and he wants to start a real YouTube channel where he goes out and interviews musicians, specifically in Nashville, which is why he changed the name of his channel to Down and Out in Nashville. Basically, guys struggling to make it in the music industry. Well, apparently Nashville is a whole lot bigger than I thought it was. It's kind of like L.A. or New York, apparently, right, Solon? But anyway, he went out. He had this idea that he's going to go stick a camera in people's faces and get them to tell their story. Maybe get some music on camera. I thought it was a great idea, especially if there's a lot of people out there that are, you know, busking. That's what you call it when you're out there going, hey, I'm just jamming on the street corner. And you know, here's a hat. Throw some coins in here. I thought it would be like Peter Santinello. I think that's a great idea. People want to see stories. People want to listen to stories. People want to hear what other people are going through. And music is very popular, so I thought that was a great idea. But he went out a couple weekends ago and couldn't find a single busker. No, everybody heard he was coming, and they all packed up their guitars and left. I don't know.
They're always fucked up.
But yeah, y'all go check out his channel. Maybe hit the subscribe button. So I am convinced that either he's going to start up with a bang, or I'm going to go down there and help him on the way back somehow, and get up there and find the people, make some interesting, something interesting. I'm looking forward to what he puts out. Hopefully he'll get that started cranking real soon. What else we got here? Nash Vegas. Oh, so another thing that I've been thinking about. Well, I've been thinking about this for quite some time. Back when I first hit the road, I was thinking, man, I need some place that I can just park my rig, park all my crap, and not have to worry about somebody coming and going, hey man, you've been here for 14 days. Because I don't think I did that very much, but pretty much any place that you go camp for more than 14 days, BLM, National Forest, they're all pretty much the same. Everybody's got a 14-day limit, period, and then some of them are smaller than that. But even then, I was thinking, man, I would like to have a winter place and a summer place. So just buy, you know, a small lot somewhere at the top of a hill. You know, some place in Arizona for the winter, and some place in Colorado, Idaho, Wyoming, some place like that in the summer. Some place with altitude in the summer, so I could get away from the heat. And then, you know, when the snow came, I could go down the hill into Arizona, go down in the desert, and find some place where I could just park my shit and go, I think I'm gonna go up to the mountains. Oh, it's hot. I'm gonna go up to the mountains. Oh, it's cold. It's snowing. I need to go down to the desert. Go down there to my little lot in the canyons of Arizona. Anyway, I'm rethinking that now. Just saw Bob Wells, if you guys know RV Living, I can't remember. Look up Bob Wells. You'll find Bob Wells. He's the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous guy. CheapRVLiving.com. That's him. And I think Cheap RV Living is his YouTube channel. But he just posted a video the other day, and Keith and I were sitting here watching it. He's like, I just bought some land in Arizona, and he paid nothing for it. I can't remember what the number was. It was like $500. I mean, something ridiculous. I was like, man, that sounds about right. If I could have access to a piece of land where I could drop a container, or I could lock my shit up, I could have tools, I could have a dry place to stay, I could have a place that I could get away from, you know, society. I could have that place where I could just go fix my shit without having to ask somebody for permission. I mean, I'm fixing my bike out in Keith's driveway the other day. I've got my bike parked in his garage. I've got a bunch of crap at my little brother's house. I've got a bunch of crap at my big brother's house. We got a place down in Florida that's about to be up for sale. So my sailboat, I gotta do something with all my crap, and I've just been thinking, man, I gotta do something different, and so I've been thinking about that lately, about finding some cheap land somewhere. Any ideas? Have y'all thought about anything like that? Cheap RV Living. Thank you. Put an ad on Songwriter page. You got a lot of feedback and meetings of people tomorrow. Oh, good. That's good to hear, man. Cheap RV Living, yes. Owning property in Arizona and Idaho means you can vote in both states and Alabama. Oh yeah, let's get in on some of that good voter fraud. Nah, I think at some point somebody's going to crack down on voter fraud. And I'm looking forward to it. But apparently there's a loophole in the law now. I think, who was that? Tucker? Tucker was saying there's a loophole in the law that if you just feel like a citizen, you can vote. It's legal for you to vote. If you just feel like a U.S. citizen, that's all you have to do. You have to just have that feeling. Just kind of like if I had the feeling that I was a woman, I could just go into the woman's bathroom. If I just had that feeling. At some point, this country, we're going to have to change the way emotions are taking over. Let's not get political. Let's move on to the next topic. But before, has anybody thought about buying just some land somewhere? Is anybody else besides me? Am I the only crazy one? Am I the only insane man?
And there's a creek campground
Is
down
it just
there.
me?
Some okay.
Why is everybody retracting their messages?
Site.
Why are you retracting messages?
It's
Why?
Big and very large.
I don't see the retracted messages on my thingy.
Because obviously somebody doesn't want vehicles.
Counterfeit trinkets. I love that.
It looks like it's poured some gravel back here to keep
Yes, let's stay out of the politics.
nice and,
Bought a mountain. Yeah, dude, you're the best example of getting away, man. I'm trying to think. You were in a neighborhood that had your neighbors were like 8 feet away from you. I don't remember exactly, but it seemed like you were like a townhome kind of thing. You were all squished together in your house, and then the next thing you know, you're on top of a freaking mountain with a goat mowing your lawn and a big dog. And if you just get that house on top of the hill, you'll not only be a landlord, but
I know you can see all my other crap.
I mean, you could build a bunker in the side of that mountain. That's what you could do, a bunker.
Gonna come down. I think he said he's 30 minutes
I don't know anybody else that can possibly send me any better pictures of their house than yours. That's quite an extraordinary piece of property. Escape Modesto. I went to Modesto Junior College.
First one to visit me on the parkway.
Who was that comedian?
Had my coffee yet.
Who's probably dead
It's a
now.
nice, very nice.
I attended Modesto Junior College.
All night. Had the whippoorwill come up and give me
Has anybody thought about buying land besides me?
like that.
Just a piece of land where you can go put some shit on.
I don't know. He's a good 15 minutes.
Like Gary. Gary's got a piece of land that he put a cabin on. Built his cabin. And I mean, he's been there
Storms coming in.
6 months and he's got a little cabin and he built all this stuff for the motorcycle camp and cook rally number 3 and nobody showed up because it was raining.
Supposed to be nice.
Torrential rains like happens in
Slight
Texas.
chance of rain today, and then tomorrow it's going to be dry and cold.
I'm looking for land in northeast Alabama. That's right. You did say
Sunday,
that.
It's supposed to be like 50 for a high.
I'm curious what you find, man.
And then it's
I'm not sure
50
Alabama's my
every day
place,
for
man.
3 or
I'm
4
really
days.
thinking out
Kind of
west. I
random.
can't really think of anything
50s with the low in the 30s.
in the
so
south
really
because I've
excited
lived here
about
my whole life. I've spent 53
I could gather it.
years of my life in Alabama.
Fire as long as it's not
52.
raining. Yeah, I think Sunday's going to be the awful day. We'll see. Y'all, I have really tried. I've really tried to incorporate Spam into a lot of my meals, even though I don't like Spam. I've never liked
So
Spam.
another thing that I'm thinking about
I went over to Hawaii.
is
and everybody eats Spam and thinks it's like
a cargo trailer.
some
Converting a
extraordinary
cargo trailer. Like,
layman,
if y'all don't know, I've been living in a converted.
people that like Spam are
My first one was a school bus. This one that I'm living in now is a coach. It still belonged to the University of Nebraska, but it's a lot nicer.
tried it and everything.
But I've
And I'm
converted
trying to do it
converted
because
both of them. Basically, it's the same, almost the
Spam is
same
everywhere. You
vehicle,
can get it at the
but
dollar
ripped
store,
all the
you can
seats
get it
out and
at
put
the quick
a
shop,
place to
it's
live in there,
everywhere.
bed,
So I thought,
shower,
let me try to
bathroom,
incorporate it into
kitchen,
some of my recipes, and let me
living
see if I can
room.
make it taste
The
good.
living room and kitchen are kind of all in one
I
thing
think if
because
you just
you
put
know,
just
and
a
just
small enough amount
cook
in
and then
there,
turn
you
around
can
and
barely
sit
taste it, or maybe
at
get
my
that
desk.
salt
Yeah,
and
office,
fat to somewhere.
living room, kitchen is
I don't
all
know,
kind of
I
one
just think
thing,
it's gross, man. I'm sitting
and
here
then
trying
just
to
junk
chug this
stashed
down.
everywhere. But I've been thinking a lot
So I
about
think this is the only way I'm going to be able to fix
um,
it is just bury it in some cover.
grabbing like a 16-foot cargo trailer and converting that into something similar. Nowhere near as much room, but a lot lighter, a lot more mobile, and then all I have to do is
Fucking
have a
gross.
working vehicle to
else
pull it
to say.
around, and I could park that pretty much anywhere, and
If you
that's
like
what I
spam,
might.
there's something wrong with you.
Combination of that and something else might wind up in somewhere in
Buying
Arizona,
sausages, hot
somewhere,
dogs, all
somewhere
the same
soon.
thing.
I just don't think Arizona's the
Okay,
best
it's
place
all
to be in
American, but
summer or
That
winter,
just makes me think
depending
that
on where you are.
Americans like this crap.
I think winters might be tough depending on the elevation in Arizona.
All right, so I want to give you a quick review.
Has anybody ever thought about converting a cargo
that,
trailer?
Fire Maple sent me. They reached out and said, "Hey,
Alabama
why don't
is
you
brutal in the
review
summer.
some of
That's
our
why I
gear?"
always leave,
I
man.
said, "Sure, let me take a look at your catalog," and I found
But it takes
this
money and time to
cool
do it.
kettle that I've
And
been
when I watch your videos, I want to
I've been
come
wanting a
ride
kettle
with
for
you
a
instead.
while, but the only ones that I found are those
Yeah, I
British
think that's a
kettles,
common
wide
thing,
bottom,
Kelly. I think a lot of people
and
like,
all you have is
oh wow, I
gear,
want to do
they're
that.
clunky and big, and
And
I don't need
I want
full,
to
I have to
encourage
I just
people
need
to
to fill my
explore
tub.
the
This one's
possibilities, but I
perfect.
don't want
I
to.
can hang it over a fire. It's got this nice
I don't want to
little,
glamorize
here,
what
that
I
locks in
do,
place. It's got the
because
traditional
this is
handle.
certainly.
It's
I
got
mean,
the pour spout, so I know exactly
Scooter
when
Trap Scotty
water's
says the
flowing.
same thing.
It's
People
titanium,
have a
lightweight. It fits
an
my
imagination about
coffee
what
cup
life would be like
inside.
riding
It's
around
the
on a
perfect
motorcycle
dimension.
full
It's been
time,
working really well,
and
whether
I
I'm
don't even
doing
have that. I
propane
know
or
it's
wood
hard. I
fire.
know it's hard.
The kit
I would
also
like to
comes
do
with
a
the
full year,
stove, and
but
it's
that's
a
going to
little bit
require something like
interesting. It
Mexico,
falls
and I
down
just
probably
haven't
about the
figured out the
smallest I've
Mexico
ever
thing.
seen.
I'm
It
getting a
just
lot
runs
closer.
along
I'm at the
inside
point now where I don't really have to
and
worry about customers,
butane.
maintaining contact,
And
maintaining my
it works,
ability to
but
do
the
things
problem I have with it is
online
the
anymore.
valve.
So
I
I'm
have
getting to the
burn
point where
marks
it's like,
on this
if I
thing.
have enough
Let me
money,
show you.
I can
And I hate
winter
to
in
badmouth
Mexico.
the
It's
freebies
not
they
that big of a
sent me,
deal
but they said
anymore.
review, and I'm
So,
reviewing it, and I don't like this thing
um,
because it's dangerous. Because this valve
So yeah, I would like to do a year on the motorcycle. I mean, 6 months was easy. For me, it was so easy. And I was kind of shocked. It's like, wow,
But normally when the
you
sun
just get
shines,
into the
you can't
rhythm.
see
You get
this
into the
thing
rhythm
burning. You
and,
sure
you know,
as
you
hell
got to
can't
get
hear
things
it.
figured
But you
out.
can burn this shit
But
out
I
of
would
your
say
fingers, which I have
probably a
twice
month on the
after
road.
I thought that
If
I
you
could
haven't
turn this
figured it
thing
out
off.
after being on the road
And
for a
you
month,
reach
you
down, you
probably
grab
are
this
not
thing,
going
and
to
I've got
figure out the rest.
I mean,
So
you
if you
can
could figure out,
well, you can see kind of.
well, I
Anyway,
always say the same
it
thing.
burns. It's
4 days
dangerous.
on the
It
road.
cost me a half a can of butane
If you
on it.
can't do 4 days,
On
you
this
can't do
trip
a month.
alone,
If you
so
can't
I
do a
can't
month, you can't
recommend
do
this,
6
but
months.
this is outstanding. You can buy
And
them
I've done
separately.
6
Came in a
months,
kit.
and now all I got to do
I've
is
been using my valve on
geographically,
that now for 10 or 12 years. I think I'll stick with
I got to
myself.
change that and
Or
figure out
maybe
how to do
find
that
out that
and
it
be
doesn't have
comfortable
this
with
really
that.
touchy
So
valve
that may be my
works
next step, is
8
just doing the
foot-pounds
full
before
year
you turn
on the
damn
bike,
thing off. But anyway,
figuring out the
Kelly cooked
Mexico
me up
thing.
cook me up some
I just told Keith the other day, and you guys may have heard me
coffee
talk
water.
about
Some coffee water.
Alaska before and how I've dissed it, and that used to be a big dream of mine. I don't know, it's probably a decade ago, I think, when I had that big dream. It's like, the last frontier. All real men have to travel to Alaska. They have to get on their motorcycle and ride to Alaska. And then I started doing the research, and went, Alaska? I don't get it. What's the big deal? It's a freaking dirt road that you got to share with semis. Like, yeah, it's beautiful, but there's beautiful stuff down here. It's remote, yeah, but we got remote stuff down here. Have you ever heard of Wyoming? Montana? Have you ever heard of those places? Idaho, shit. You want remote? We got plenty of remote down here.
There's probably better stoves out there.
And, reasonable prices for gas and food and things like that. I think that's what really talked me out of Alaska, but I've actually been reconsidering Alaska lately. So, but just experiments. It's all experiments. The tat.
This is why.
Probably for the last 15 years, I've kind of scoffed at the tat until Richard said, "Hey, man, I'm thinking about doing the tat. You want to go with me? I got this extra bike." And I was like, "Nah, tell me about this bike." "Oh, I got this awesome, perfectly set up for your big fat ass and all your gear." He didn't say that, but that's basically what it was. I said, "Man, that's really intriguing. Nobody's ever made an offer like that to me before. Let me think about the tat."
60 mile an
And I thought about it. I was like, well, why am I hung up on it's just a bunch of dirt roads connected with some pavement? And then, you know, the most exciting part is going to be the Rockies. And pretty much it was, but it was a lot more than I thought. It was a lot more than I thought it could be. And, yeah. So if that's true, then maybe Alaska's more than I thought. So I'm reconsidering Alaska, but I'm really focused on Mexico. I really want to expand my abilities to go and hang on my motorcycle for a year, and that's going to be the next thing, I think, Mexico.
It's a great day.
And let's do this, and whatever y'all want to talk about. How do y'all like my little slideshow presentation? And whatever y'all would like to talk about. What's the topic? What do y'all want to talk about?
Yeah, I've got lots of room over there.
I have it, but it takes money and time to do it. And when I watch your video, that's do Baja first.
Yeah, pull my hammock back.
Well,
You can probably get 4 or 5 people.
Baja is in Mexico, so yes. I'm guessing you've done Baja, Brian. Alaska has real winters, so my advice is go south, young man. Yeah. No, I have no delusions about spending the winter in Alaska. You know how many people kill themselves in the winter in Alaska? That's not really something that I would be interested in, going up there and not having any sun for, well, I don't know, sun creasing the horizon for like 12 hours a day. There's no real sun in the winter, and it's cold as fuck and snow, and I'm not a real big snow guy. I think if I had to deal with snow, I would be dealing with it as a tourist. Snowmobiling, skiing. I like winter wonderlands, but I like to be able to escape them. Just snow to me is the same thing as heat. Heat and humidity. It's like, if I can go somewhere to escape that, that's why I like Hawaii so much. Hawaii was like spring and fall all year round. It never really gets hot there. If you're standing in the sun and you're hot, all you have to do is pop up an umbrella and you're cool again. It's a cool breeze blowing off the ocean all the time. If you don't like rain, just go to the other side of the island. If you don't like heat and sun, you go to the other side of the island. If you like clouds, if it's really too hot, you just go up to the volcanoes. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's an amazing place for people like me who are real fidgety about heat, humidity, and cold, because it really doesn't have any of those.
You ain't gonna see anything that way. There's nothing to see.
You need another bike for Baja.
And I guess.
Yes, I do. Wonder where a man might find one of those motorcycles.
What are they doing?
I do have a Tiger up for sale. If I could just get rid of that thing, I could buy me another, a real appropriate motorcycle. Let me give that some thought. I wonder how that might, be able to put that together. Has anybody seen my Tiger video for sale?
This one, but yeah, I've never seen no alcohol in the forest. That's weird.
Yeah, Baja sounds like fun.
Anyway,
I think that's on Keith's list. I'm not sure if he's going to do it before he leaves, but I think that's next. So they're out there doing Moab this week, and then I think Baja's next. I'm not sure if he's going to do the pop up, do the camper thing. Have you ridden around the Big Island? I'm trying to convince Brian it's a must-do.
Completely disguise that bike.
Brian.
Yeah, I'm really impressed.
Oh, honey.
First,
Not only have I ridden around the Big Island, I am an expert. I am a tour guide for the Big Island. In fact, I have a map for the Big Island. In fact, I have a motorcycle that needs a little bit of work. It needs a battery. I understand the backwards ass government of Hawaii. I tried to trade my V-Strom that's sitting over there in his garage for his Harley that's over here. Now I've got his Harley, he's got my V-Strom, but he's told me that the government, since it's been untitled for going on 2 years now, or untagged, I haven't paid my taxes on the bike for 2 years because I wasn't riding it. I think he said it's $600 a year for back taxes. Anyway, it kind of, if you're willing to ride dirty, all you have to do to get my bike to ride it is put a battery in it and get the keys from my brother. So if y'all decide y'all want to go over there, I highly recommend it. It's one of the most amazing places I've ever visited. And like I was saying, I was a guide. I was a tour guide on the island. That's how I made my money over there. But not just that, I have a map that I can send you of all the places that you need to go on the island. The places that, so there's places that the tourist companies will take you, and there's places that I would take you. So I have all the really cool places that you're not going to get anywhere else. If you guys decide to go, taking my bike or not, I'm pretty sure you can rent a bike too. I'm quite sure they have several Harleys that you can rent on the island. So if that's what you want to do, but yeah, the roads are incredible. You will have probably the best time you've had in quite some time. Even though y'all think you live in paradise, the Big Island is truly paradise. It's the closest I've ever gotten anyway. The guy in the background there is Ron, XT Freak. He's one of the viewers. He met me at camp because I think he lived about 30 miles from my camp right there. But you'll see his video coming up soon. I'm currently editing that. But he's got a Tiger. That's his Super Tenere. I'm trying to remember what all kind of. Oh, he's an XT guy. So all the Yamaha XTs. He's a XT Freak. That's his handle on YouTube. So when y'all see him comment, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I know that guy. That was the guy that showed up in Don's camp when he was camping off the Blue Ridge Parkway. That was a pretty cool camp spot, even though it was very cold and very wet and very windy a couple of days.
I'm amazed at what it does off-road.
Ridden around the Big Island. Of course I have. Jesus.
It doesn't bottom out.
I have ridden almost every road. Every road that needed to be ridden on the Big Island, I rode. So yeah, if anybody's going over there, please let me know. I'll send you my map. It's a Google map. It's basically all the cool tourist points. I had a friend that went over there, and she's like, hey, what can you recommend? And I was like, give me about 30 minutes, and I'll plot my little things on the map and give you a little bit of detail and link some of my videos. That's the important thing. It's like, okay, you can go, do I really want to see that? Well, there's a link on the point on the map. You can click on that link and watch the video of me doing whatever at that thing. And it's like, yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff on that island. I mean, it's 5 volcanoes in one. That's basically what you need to know. 5 volcanoes in one, and 3 of the volcanoes are still considered active. One of them is the most active volcano in the world. One of them is the tallest volcano in the world, and one of them is the largest volcano in the world. So go beat that. Go beat that, Italy. Yeah, that's a cool place, man. I think everybody should get over to the Big Island. Fuck all those other islands. Big Island is the shit. That's where it's at. Well, anybody got anything else y'all want to talk about?
Okay, cool.
Because we've been doing it for a while. Let's see how long we've been doing it. Let me look at some stats here while y'all come up with some ideas. 83 minutes. That's not too bad. Yeah, I think y'all going to be interested in what Ron's got to say. He's a pretty serious guy when it comes to motorcycles. Fun guy, but very serious into motorcycle shit. And he's an engineer, so which means he builds all kinds of crazy shit for his bike. Does all kinds of crazy shit because nobody makes it. That's his shitter. He's showing you the shitter that he made. His camp toilet. You'll see all this stuff. It's good stuff, man. I love people that make their own shit because nobody else will make it.
The Amazon, I think. And I said, I can get one of those and cut a hole in it. And when I cut the hole,
Yeah,
it
I'm
needs
glad somebody watched those videos, Tyler.
set it with seatbelt.
Of hitchhike all over the island, but it needs to be a bike. Oh, dude, yeah. Y'all need to go. Dina, y'all just need to go. Y'all need to go. Period. I'm trying to get my little brother over there. My older brother lives over there. My mom lives with him, and my little brother needs to visit my mom if nothing else. But yeah, he's got a free place to stay. I mean, the biggest expense he's gonna incur is food and the flight over and back. I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer. Never refuse somebody's invitation to paradise. Never refuse. I made that mistake one time, and I will never do it again. If somebody says, "Man, come on up. I live in paradise. Come on up. Come on over. Come check out paradise. It's not going to cost you anything except the flight here and back, and the food, and maybe some gas or something." It's like, yeah, okay.
That's not looking like I'm very coordinated.
Yeah, y'all just need to go do it. I'll talk to Brian when I get out there. How about that? I'll make sure that I convince him.
Seat part upside.
Just got back from Oahu, and I'm over it. I want to see the other islands specifically. Yeah, Oahu's is a waste. I think all the touristy islands, Oahu's probably the worst, and then what's the one next door? Is that Maui? Yeah, Maui's way too small and has way too many people. The Big Island, if you stay away from, shit, I can't even think of the touristy side. The touristy side is on the west side of the island. It's nice, but it's kind of like any other beach town, and that's where everybody flies into because it's got the hotels and all the food and the beaches, and it never rains over there. It's always sunny, and it's got beaches. And there's things that are close by if you want to go do the things. But if you want to see the real paradise of Hawaii, the Big Island, you gotta stay on the east side. You gotta stay in one of the smaller towns or Hilo. I love Hilo. I love the slow pace. I love the fact that it's got tourists, but most of the tourists that come over to that side of the island are going to see the volcano. So they're a whole lot cooler. You know, they're not there to get drunk and fuck, and well, they're probably doing that too. But yeah, it's just much more laid back crowd, much slower. They got good food on that side of the island. It's much cooler temperature wise. It's going to rain a lot more, but most of the time it rains and dries up, and then rains again and dries up, and you don't care because 78 degrees. You don't care. The weather means nothing. The weather means nothing. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Go into the jungle. See all the wonderful things they have to see over there. I wished some more people would have watched those videos because the stories I told from Hawaii I thought were extraordinary. Not because I'm in it, just like, let me show you what you're missing. This place is freaking incredible. You can walk on an active volcano that's spitting gas and lava and, it's crazy. You can walk on the tallest volcano on Earth, the largest volcano on Earth, and the most active. There's 3 different volcanoes.
Nice. Get all the stuff I don't have.
You can go skiing, snow skiing. 2 hours later, you can be surfing. And you can go out and catch you a big 800-pound tuna the same day. I mean, where else are you going to be doing that? Where else can you do that? I don't know of a single place you can do that. And you can say, sure, you could do it in California. Yeah, I don't know. That's going to be tough. 6 hours, maybe. 4 hours. Yeah, you could probably do it in L.A. But really, who wants to deal with that traffic?
One of those things that's irritating.
Please do. Yeah, I'll do my best, Dina. Hopefully I'll see you guys this summer.
Until you turn your head and it turns off.
Yeah, that's irritating. I know there's some kind of
well,
use for it, but I'm not. Man, that's to figure it
I
out.
don't have anything else. I figured this would be a quick chat while y'all were watching some of the upcoming stuff.
Yeah.
I just wanted to
It's been
see if I could
active
set
down
this
here.
thing up one more time and go, oh
Nice.
yeah, I could do this from the laptop again. And it was a struggle, but I got through it. Well, if y'all don't have anything else, I'm gonna shut her down and say good evening.
I was just thinking compound fracture.
Glad to
How do you-
have y'all
how do you
hanging
do
out
that?
here.
You strap
Next time,
strap
I might have
to the
something a little bit
tree,
more
and then
interesting
you
to
pull
talk
your
about.
phone back into place, and then
Later, y'all.